You know, I'm almost sad this might be one of, if possibly the last hamburger and french fry show of 2018.
Oh, I
Unless
thought
you're
I
going to
got
Petit
fired
Le Mans.
again.
No. Well, contract negotiation. I might not charge you as much next year. Here we are, end of day Thursday, Sonoma Raceway. We had, 10 cars, 11 cars, something like that out here testing. We know that Scott Dixon, championship leader, was fastest in the morning. We then got a lot of wind in the afternoon, tire degradation, and your favorite handling characteristic, slipping and sliding, and a non-solid rear end. Tell us about this test day, Seb.
Yeah, it's been interesting for sure. I mean, we knew it was going to be the hardest day of the week because it seems like the wind just kind of fades the rest of the weekend. So I guess it's probably a good thing to start with the toughest conditions and things improving rather than the opposite. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, overall a good day. We've tried a lot of things. We've made small progress. But yeah, very challenging conditions. That tailwind on that
You can feel it
roughed
right
up
now.
pavement is just atrocious. Like the amount of rear locking and
What was it like coming down the hill through the S's into the little chicane there? I mean, you had to have your behind hiked up.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like downforce wise, you're trying to go.
You're making up for it. You're not making down for it.
Yeah, you're getting pushed, so you're definitely going through those S's with a lot less downforce than you'd like, and the car is very light and takes a lot of yaw, and you hit the brake pedal for the chicane there, and you just go kind of skating through with the rear tires or the front tires, all four tires locked up. It's been pretty exciting, and it's mostly gusty too, so very difficult to predict. You kind of look at the flags, you try and see what's going to happen to you, and even when you do that, you're never quite sure that it hasn't switched or stopped or reinforced. So yeah, a pretty big challenge to test and drive in general, but it's Sonoma.
When I was here a week ago and we had Penske, Rahal, and Harding testing, no real wind, it was almost perfect conditions, and it seems like everybody was spinning every lap, non-stop. We didn't quite have that today, actually, to my surprise. The conditions are more challenging, yet we had fewer cars spinning. Colton Herta did have an off at turn 2, turned his four-wheel IndyCar into kind of a three-wheeler, but for the most part, not too bad of a day from that standpoint. I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, there were some mistakes and some offs in the dirt and wheels locked and going straight and this and that. But yeah, definitely not a whole lot of mistakes. So, but you do make me feel a little better if you tell me that the conditions were better last week because they were quite a bit faster. So we'll see how that translates. But yeah, I mean, then those Penskes, they seem to be really quick around here. You're in, you're out, and doesn't seem to be any different with that aero kit. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that Sailmaster Honda number 18's been pretty good on most road courses, though this is really kind of an hybrid of a street and a road course with very rough pavement, high frequency bumps, low grip. So I don't know. I think the quest for like the perfect setup here, you
gave up on that a long time ago.
You could be there for days on out and just never figure it out, I think. So we'll see what the option Firestone tires will do and things like that. I mean, that's the kind of things we can't test on those test days. So it's still a lot of things to discover, particularly tomorrow when we get them, and we'll see how that shakes out.
Let's close on telling folks what happens from now until tomorrow, Friday morning. We have our first official practice session about 11 a.m. You working with your engineer, Craig Hampson, the other drivers working with their engineers. You're obviously going through setup changes. You're trying to learn all you can on the Firestone Blacks. But what do you do and how do you take whatever you learned today and turn that into something positive when you come back here tomorrow about 18 hours from now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the morning session might be a little tricky, right? Because it's always going to feel better. Wind's not going to have kicked in yet, although it should be, overall a lot less in general. But cooler track temp and cooler ambient, so everything feels better. More downforce, more grip on the track, and you come back and you're like, guys, I think we made progress
we're so
here.
Smart.
Yeah.
Look what we came up
and
with.
then the afternoon session comes and you might find yourself in trouble again. So it's really a game of like trying to keep the perspective of what's doing what and how much it influences things, and that's the treacherous thing about it here, because the grip is so low, any change in condition makes a big difference. So we'll just have to stay on our toes. Obviously we'll have the engineers look at the data and try and validate what we've done, tried, and what we think has worked and was good or bad, and try and put it all together and see if we can go forwards.
All right, well, we're going to have Miller here tomorrow, so maybe it's the hamburger, french fry, and pork bacon show.
Oh,
so,
geez.
all right, Thursday from Sonoma. I'm hamburger. That's french fry. We'll talk to you later.